And welcome to the November 10th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. If you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And welcome to those that are here with us and those that are viewing on cable. Any announcements from the board tonight, other than the town office will be closed tomorrow in observance of Veterans Day.
And transfer station.
And the transfer station. Any other announcements? And the library.
Just to wish all the veterans.
Yes, the library's closed.
It was Wednesday, yes. Thank you.
Just wish the best to all the veterans tomorrow, and to extend wishes for happy birthday to any member of the U.S. Marine Corps. This is their 240th birthday on the 10th today. So, other than that, I'm all set.
A former citizen of Waterboro who moved to Yarmouth over the last couple of years to be closer to her daughter, Edie Hutchinson, died Sunday before last. Edie was a wonderful person. She and her husband spent about 10 years restoring cemeteries around the town. So the services was this past Sunday, but kind of miss Edie, and just had the opportunity to talk to the family, and they are really going to miss her.
Okay. Anything else, folks? Moving right along. Any additions or deletions to the agenda this evening? We have no appointments. Hearing a delegation. Anybody that is not on the agenda that would like to be heard? Correspondence, with treasurer's report, librarian's report, and RSU 57 invitation to bid. Looks like they're selling off some equipment.
Yes.
So if you want a bus, there's a procedure to go through to buy a bus if you want.
An old lawnmower.
Yeah.
Well, that's, at this point, it's only for the towns,
Right.
not the general public, though.
Reports and staff initiatives, selectmen's reports. Gordon, start with you.
I'm all set.
Okay. John?
So,
Dwayne?
I'm all set.
Tammy Jo?
I attended the 12-town group meeting last night. We had Sam from Revision Energy was here to talk about solar power and a couple of different plans that they run. One was about solar farms. So residents who wish to have solar energy or the credits for solar energy, but don't have a place to build solar panels, solar panels, can buy into these farms and get credits. So the power is generated off of the panel, fed into CMP, and then they get the credits for those solar powers. And then they also talked about another program where municipal government can get in on having solar energy by having a third party, because municipal agencies aren't eligible for some of the discounts and whatnot. Third parties will lease a roof from the town hall, build the solar energy and own it, and sell the energy to the municipality. Then they take all the tax breaks and credits and whatnot, and then after about 7 years they sell the equipment at reduced cost to the municipality. So it was interesting. It's an expensive endeavor, and I was surprised that it doesn't pay off sooner than it does. It's you're looking at 20 years before you're paying off the cost, the upfront cost, and you still do incur some electric costs during that period. But the life of the solar panels is about 40 to 50 years. So it was interesting to hear.
Is the payback
with or without the tax benefits or the credits?
That included the tax benefits.
So without the, if the tax benefits weren't there, then
Be even longer than 20 years.
That 30% benefit goes away at
2000.
December 31st, 2016.
anything else, Stephen Joe?
Nope, that's it.
I don't have anything, so we'll move into Gary's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Concerning audit, just about an hour and a half ago, I got a draft audit, it came electronically, so here's a copy that I've not even had a chance to look for. This is the abbreviated version. They finished up their work testing here last week. The fund balance, or what we used to call an appropriated surplus, essentially up by $700,000, and we have to remember that 424 of that for FY 14-15 is the double collection of the county tax. Election update, we had 13% turnout, which is pretty poor, expected because we didn't have any local races. At 641 voters out of our 4,935 registered voters. I had in my report to talk about the roof bids and architectural design for the central station, but those are agenda items. We'll move on through those. Doug and I met yesterday with the engineer for our salt shed design, and we're trying to pull together the bid documents so that we can go out to bid as early next month as possible, so we hopefully get those bids back in January. There's a 12 or more week delay time to order these laminated beams for the salt shed, so to start in the spring, we have to have our contractor selected and materials ordered in the middle of the winter. Excuse me. There's been a lot of work done in the library basement by Pete and other people. We spent some pretty good money on electrical work. There's a drop ceiling down there. A non-bearing wall was torn down. We're going to be able to use that basement again for the public, which is good. Better egress. Earlier this summer, Doug and crew had contracted out to have the asphalt ramp to the left of the library replaced. Much better plow job and easier for the public to get in and out of that back door. We're also working on some more insulation in the attic to stem the ice dam problem. We have some new storage, a new storage container at the Public Works garage. If you're down that way, take a look. We've put the new one and the old leaky roof one next to each other there to store our equipment. The town-owned lot that you had wanted to have surveyed between West Road and Middle Road, most of the field work's been done. The challenge is in the deed work to try and find, and I don't think we're going to find, legal access to Middle or West Roads. It hasn't turned up yet anyway, and he's been looking hard, so he's got another week or two, I guess, in looking through some more deeds to try and find some additional information. He's just trying to close the lot off and give us an acreage, and right now, even that's not 100%. And Doug informed me this afternoon the 2 new propane tanks at the fire station have been installed underground. If you remember, our tank, we didn't have any heat at the fire station because the tank was under the snow, which you would think would be a fine warmer place, but if it doesn't get a little bit of sun in the daytime, the propane doesn't flow. So that problem has been fixed. They've still got a little bit of work to do to polish off the running of the lines and get all that hooked up. We'll be in good shape for this winter. We also have 2 new heaters in the bays to get some more heat in the bays, which has been inadequate because that in-floor heat just doesn't do the trick on the 3rd week of January when the wind's blowing. So, and thank you. That's it from me.
Okay, any questions, comments? Sensing none, we'll move into new business. Discuss and vote on bids for architectural services for Central Station addition. These are the 4 here.
Yeah, may I?
Yep.
The deadline was at noon yesterday, and you have all those bids in front of you there with a very preliminary bid tab sheet that gives you some basic information. This is not like a painting bid or a bid to buy a piece of equipment or whatever. Some of the terminology in here and the way these things are worded, you really have to read this and understand what they're saying and what services they're providing for that first figure. I attempted to do that in that email with those 4 prices. Obviously, all of these folks are looking for more work down the road if and when we do build an addition. And I put the percentages in there that they charge for percentage of construction costs for their fees. and they've given you a little bit of information. To be honest with you, neither Matt nor I have had a chance, since we got them yesterday, to go through these with a fine-tooth comb. We both intend to do that by hopefully the middle of next week, and then give you a better report on that.
Okay.
Certainly no decision tonight, no recommendation tonight, either.
All right, any questions by anyone other than the fact that we just really have
Okay.
had a shot to look
Make
at them?
make a motion to table this till the following meeting.
They would accept that. Anybody want a second?
I'll second that.
That'll give every board member a chance to look at it, plus Gary and the fire chief.
Moved and seconded to table to the next meeting. No discussion on the table. All of those in favor? Opposed? So we'll roll that into whole business if you guys are ready. We won't, if you're not ready, then we won't
Oh,
put it on.
we should be. We'll give you a memo. I don't know if you're gonna be
Yeah,
satisfied.
all right. Okay,
Well, if you're not, I mean, we can do it, we can still postpone it another
Yep.
week,
Yep.
but that will at least give us a chance to look at what you've just given us.
all right. All right, item B, discuss and vote to appoint 2 interim members to the, as Waterboro Representatives on the RSU 57 Board of Directors to serve until the next annual municipal election. A little background, we went out and actually solicited an interest. We had 3 candidates. We did interviews and executive session last Thursday evening. Of those 3 candidates, we have, so everybody is aware, they will serve only until June 30th of this year. They will have to seek election. There will be 2 positions on the town meeting warrant going into next year. One would be a 2-year term, one would be a 3-year term. So if any of the candidates that we appoint have a desire to continue, they will then enter the political realm of running for school board. That being said, I guess I'd
Do we
entertain,
have the names of the,
I would make a motion to appoint Lindsay Clancy to the spot vacated by Rebecca Roy.
Seconded.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to appoint Lindsay
Clancy.
Clancy to the position vacated by Rebecca Roy, which would be the
That's
most
the-
recent
That's for the
term.
3-year.
Yep.
Position, not term.
The 2-year term. Mary Ross is,
Mary was the most recent.
Mary is up this year,
Okay.
so she's
It would
ending,
replace Mary's position.
so it would be to replace Mary, if that's what you're looking for, is the 3-year position.
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
May I clarify, or ask for clarification? You mentioned Rebecca Roy and Mary Ross, which is
Those,
Lindsay.
Both
those
have
2
resigned.
Right, so,
Rebecca was just elected last
Right.
year, so she has served 1 year of a 3-year term.
and who's replacing her?
That,
We're
my
waiting
motion was
the
for
next-
Lindsay.
We'll wait for the next motion.
Okay,
So there's been a motion to
Introduce
replace
the next
Mary Ross' position.
okay.
Mary Ross's term was to expire this June anyway. That position will then become a 3-year term that will be voted on at town meeting.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, for the second position of Nanette Walton to serve the other term vacated by, I believe, Mary Ross.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Annette Waldron to the second position. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is defeated. I entertain another
I would,
motion.
I would make a motion to appoint Brenda Dyer.
Seconded.
Been moved and seconded to appoint Brenda Dyer to the Rebecca Roy position. All those, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion carries 3-2.
4-1 or 3-2? Just so I
No,
know.
I voted for. I
4-1.
voted for Nanette That went down,
Okay.
and then I voted for.
Four, okay, so four.
I was,
Yeah, thank God.
I was
I think
no
I
vote.
see 5 hands here, so.
I'm a no vote.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. 4-1, thank you.
So congratulations.
So, congratulations to the two ladies that are with us tonight. And like I said, you have a few months to make a determination of what did I really get into, and do I want to do this again, and then you'll have to run for those positions. Yes?
Chairman, can I just add that both ladies will have to come and be sworn in by the town clerk?
Right.
Can they do that tonight?
I don't know if she's got the oaths ready. I'm sure she doesn't have them ready, actually, because she didn't know.
You could go out and chat with Christine, the last station on the left there, introduce yourself and see.
Sworn in?
We did get,
Yes.
Yes.
and just so both of you know, we did get feedback from the superintendent that the chair of the school board will make the appointments of what committees you will serve. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay, moving right along.
Next month, you might not thank us.
Discuss and vote on board and committee member appointments. We have, I believe, 2 candidates for different positions. One we just had an executive session with, so
I would make a motion to appoint Joseph Omakis to the Library Board of Trustees.
I'll second that.
any discussion?
What was the O-makers?
Yes, is that,
Demarcus.
oh, that looks like an O.
Yeah, I know.
Demarcus.
Okay.
Made the motion, but I did not pronounce his
Thought we had
last
another
name.
candidate. Any discussion, further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? 5-0.
I would move that we can't have a negative motion, right?
I think
Mr. Plord, you mean?
Lord
Yes.
still wants to
leave
go
it
through with
be.
his original request for the zoning board of appeals.
He wants to go through with it now?
Well, yes, there was some discussion of whether or not he had interest in the planning board. He does not have interest in the planning board.
Okay,
But he had-
that was his email from the
His
planning.
interest is with the ZBA.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
all right.
I'd like to give Gary an opportunity to just give him a call first and just talk with him and make sure that we know exactly what he's interested in doing. I know we kind of talked about a bunch, different committees with him that night. We talked about the planning board, we talked about ZBA, I think we kind of talked about the budget committee as well. And maybe letting Gary have the opportunity to talk to him first, rather than just through the email, would give us a little bit more clarity.
I
I'm not,
think that's a great idea. He hasn't had a chance to come in yet. We haven't had that chat.
So, do we want to table this?
Want to table, that's
until-
fine with me.
So I guess if somebody would move. to
I'd make a
table.
motion that we table appointing Joe Plord until the town administrator can reach out to him.
I'll second
Okay, been moved and seconded to table the appointment of Mr. Plode, so all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5. Item D, discuss vote to renew salt, malt, spiritus and vinous liquor license for Woody's Sports Grill.
Make a motion to approve the liquor license for Woody's.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the annual license for Woody's.
And just to note, we did get feedback from the contract deputy, the CEO, and the fire department, all recommending approval.
I think his expiration date is 12/1 or something, right? So he should be fine.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That motion
I'm
carries.
abstaining,
You're abstaining?
4-0-1.
just because it's a relative.
Okay. Okay. Discuss status of the winter sand purchase. There was some discussion last meeting relative to possibly putting this out to bid. Gary did some work, he and I talked about this a little bit. I just suggested that he put something together so that it's clear what the options may or may not be, and whether or not. I think once we go through this, probably is a moot point whether or not we go out to bid, but that's the pleasure of the board.
Well, in the first item, I totaled up what we've been spending on sand, a little over $11,000 on sand alone, $18,000 in trucking and driver costs to haul it from Dayton to our garage. And again, for the folks back home, everybody who would do that type of work in terms of trucking, everybody gets paid the same rate for a truck per the town policy. We spent $118,000 on salt alone last year, which does include delivery to our salt shed. So I called 4 places: F.R. Carroll, $7 a yard; Dayton Sand and Gravel, $3 a yard. Dearborn didn't call back, and I later heard I don't think they put up that product, or at least in that volume, to be wanting to give a price. And Shaw Brothers was $7 a yard, but larger stones in it. I'm happy to go out to bid. I don't really see a pressing reason to do that, but certainly if you folks want me to, we'll do that. Looks like we're getting a pretty good price right now.
So is there a desire that we put this out to bid, or is this sufficient to cover everybody's questions? I think if anybody questions it from, you know, the public or whatnot, that we do know what the rates are, and I think we're going to the lowest price supplier at this point, so.
See, I'm torn at this particular point in time because on the one hand, we have a charter that specifies the dollar amounts and so forth that,
Not the charter.
not the, excuse me, the purchasing policy, you know, that, you know, requires us essentially, I think, to go out to bid on this. Yet I think the answer is blatantly obvious in this, what the response is going to be. So I just don't like violating our own policies for the sake of expediency, when we know we're probably going to get the same answer when we go out to bid.
You might not.
Well,
So
the policy was also changed that allowed us in certain instances to override that. You know, if you recall, we went through that because of some of the things that we've done in the past. And I think we just did that last year. Was it last year that we did that?
well, there's a,
April 2014.
well, there's a note on the bottom of the town administrator's memorandum here that says perhaps we should review the purchasing policy to add some language on certain specified products and services that department heads and town administrator can have a bit more flexibility.
Right.
And so I don't think that that language is currently in there. That it is in there.
No, I agree, it's not. That's why I
Oh,
wrote
yeah,
number
it's not
4.
in there that gives us that flexibility.
I thought we went through an exercise and changed the policy to do that. And we amended it in April 2014.
I mean, I'm in favor of adding that particular addendum to that policy that does grant that flexibilities for cases like this.
The town administrator may award the bid to the responsible bidder whose bid conform. Okay, maybe that was that we didn't necessarily drive us to the lowest bidder. I think that was the language that we put in, right? Town administrator may award the bid to the responsible bidder whose bid conforms to the invitation to bid and will be the most advantageous to the town. I think that's.
All right, so when do we need to put up the sand?
We've got enough for what, a third of the winter now?
So could we not commit on the sand at this point, address the deficiency in the purchase policy, and then make a decision on the sand? If we, at this point, take this and go out to bid, you know that they're gonna come back higher because they're gonna see what the other groups are putting out there. We could end up costing ourselves more money. So I think we would want to be financially prudent here.
I
And
agree with you, but that's
how
why I
do we
said I'm
do,
torn.
how do we make this right?
Yeah,
Well, the others come down
Well,
lower.
okay, so this is easy. We say that we're buying $7,500 worth of sand, which requires a verbal quotation and whatnot.
but that's not gonna cover all our sand, $7,500,
Well,
right?
he's got a third of it now.
I got bids from 3 bidders in the 7,500 to 25,000. I mean, that's all we spend for sand itself, just the sand, just the stumpage of the sand. So in that category, I've done that homework in giving you 3 prices.
Right. Doug, comment?
Well, you know, you've got plenty of time to change your policy. We have a considerable amount of sand left over from the last 2 winters. And right now, if we don't put up over 3,000 yards of sand, you're not gonna spend the required amount of money to have to go out to bid on it anyway. And I won't put up more than 3,000 yards at this time. Probably won't put up over 2,500 yards at this time, in addition to what we have there. Sometime before spring, we may have to add some more. So you got, you know, you could change that policy anytime in the next 3 months. You want to remember that it would be in our best interest to not end up with any real stockpile of sand left over at the end of this winter, because then we're gonna have to pay to move it all. So if you wanna make a change, or if you've got an issue, now is really not the time to think about that.
Yeah, I don't think we go out and say, let's do 4,000 yards of sand.
No, I
and
mean,
spend $12,000.
we probably got 1,000 yards of sand stockpiled right now. And we've dropped our usages. We've talked all along when we wanted to build a new sand and salt shed that we've dropped our uses of salt and sand mixture down considerably. And I anticipate that putting up 2,000 to 2,500 yards on top of what we got right there is going to be an adequate amount. Now, you know, having said that, I have no idea what the good Lord's gonna produce for winter this year, no more than anybody else sitting in this room does, but we can put up up to 2,500 yards and still be within our policy, and you can take the next 2 months and come up with a revision in how you wanna do this, but, you know, you've got 2 issues here. You've got 2 places to buy sand. 10 years ago, Frank Harrell had 1 million yards of sand sitting up there. Right now, he has very little left. And in a discussion that we had after Gary talked to him, he told me that the price is going to go up significantly higher than it is now, because the availability of it is running low, and the cost to produce sand is the most expensive product you can make. So he's not really even interested in selling any sand. On the other hand, Dayton has some sand. If we go to anybody else and we start getting sand that's only screened down to 1/2 inch or 3/8, then the town is gonna have to adopt a policy of where they're gonna pay the damages for all the rocks that are gonna be kicked up. We haven't used unwashed sand in this town for at least, I'm gonna guess, 20 years. And if we start doing that, your vehicle damage is gonna cost this town a lot of money. Chip paint, broken windshields, and all of that you get from using a sand that you're not gonna buy any cheaper in the long run. In the long run, it's gonna cost you more money. So I think that at this particular time, this is almost a moot point. I think that we can put up less than $10,000 worth of sand, and you can take some time to think about what you want to do with your purchase policy.
I would make the motion, Mr. Chairman, that we purchase amount sufficient but not to exceed
$7,500.
the $7,500 cap, which we've been tentatively assured by the Director of Public Works will be sufficient with the information that we have at this time.
I would ask you, go ahead, Dwayne.
You're putting a cap on the sand, but you do understand that the trucking is gonna be about $14,000.
We wouldn't,
That's another whole, that's payroll.
yeah, we don't bid that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
not
we're
part of the
talking-
process.
The policy covers what we would go out and purchase for product.
I would just caution you that, you know, we could possibly need sand in the future, but I'm saying that I think
But that would be a
2,500,
separate purchase.
it would be a separate purchase.
Okay.
It would be months from now.
The only comment that I would say is, you may, if you've got that amount of sand, put 1,000 yards on top of that pile, and in February, take a day and haul in another 1,000 yards, because by then you're gonna know what you got for a winter, and in a day's time, you can move 1,000 yards of sand up there if you need to.
That's the point. That's why we
Yeah.
haven't been putting up a tremendous amount of sand.
You don't want a big pile of sand up there if you're gonna put the salt shed on top of the sand, where the sand pile is today, so.
The other thing I want
Playing
to
it by
bring,
month, I mean, in a day's time, you can put 1,000 yards out.
the other thing that, you know, you gotta bring to your attention is that we don't put the salt out to bid either. But we do buy through COG's bid process, which I think
Which qualifies for the bid.
it qualifies you, but I don't want anybody to come up and say, well, you didn't put the salt out to bid, because we buy it for the same price the state of Maine buys it for, and the same price that COG buys it for, and the same price that, who's these people, Gary? York County, who's in, people?
SNPDC, which is tied in with the COG,
Right.
Council of Governments in Portland.
And, you know,
So it is.
if
it
you
is
follow
put out to
that,
bid by them.
if you follow that, then everybody that buys their sand, holds, the contract off of Dayton Sand and Gravel, buys it for that same price because they get a price off them. So I think you're covered, because I think that the COG already gets a price off them to handle this, because all the towns at Turnpike, and Scarborough and Biddeford Saco, they go there and buy the same product we are, and they all go out to bid for it. So
Right,
it's
so
all done through this.
let me jump back here, because we've kind of run off on discussion here. I
Did you
have
get
a
a
motion,
second?
I did not have a second.
Okay, you got one now.
So we have a motion, and it's been seconded to purchase no more than the limit of $7,500 in this initial purchase for winter sand, based on, as Gordon had mentioned, the Public Works Director feeling that is sufficient, not knowing what the, in his words, the good Lord is gonna bring us this year. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
While we got Mr. Fogler here, I've had several concerns of two intersections. One of them is my own, Glass Bridge, and the other one is Ospey Mountain, Ospey Hill Road. When you pull up to the stop sign on Ospey Hill now, you pull up to the white line, you can't see coming down through. And whether the white line is in the wrong place, or the stop sign's in the wrong place, but it's created a very blind corner up there to be able to stop and see.
Looking down Straw Mill.
Yeah. Clark's Bridge, it's impossible to come out of Clark's Bridge and go to Chadman's Ridge without being on the wrong side of the road. That is probably the most dangerous intersection that I've seen in a long time created.
Oh, I'll look into it.
Come out of Clark's Bridge and try to stay on the right side of the lane on Chadman's Ridge, and it's impossible.
Going
Going
across.
across, yeah.
I got a call. Yeah, there's an accident on it.
What's the issue on Ospey Hill Road coming into Straw Mill Brook?
When you stop at the stop sign,
Coming
the
on,
white line.
are you on Ospey Hill Road now?
Yes.
Yeah,
You got a new stop sign,
yeah, I see that.
okay? Stop at the white line and try to look down Straw Mill Brook Road. Can't see the Straw Mill Brook Road.
What?
Oh, you mean the stop line is
The,
back?
the stop line is too far back, so you can't see. If you stop on that white line and where the stop sign is,
I
you
don't know,
can't see
I was just up there, I mean, approaching that, you've got this big neon sign that says, new stop sign ahead, and then you go down to where the stop sign is, you get two stop signs there, one over
Yeah.
each other.
But
And if you stop, you can look down Straw Mill.
you're not listening.
Other side.
Stop on the white line, that the white line is the stopping point, and look.
He's at the other stop sign.
On the other side of Ospey Hill,
He's coming
coming out from Layton's house?
Hmm.
He's coming from West Road.
Oh, okay,
That's the one that you look down and there's trees in the way, looking down Straw Mill, to your right.
Okay.
Looking down Straw Mill. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, there's no,
You cut some vegetation there, or move the stop.
yeah, that's been like that, I
it
guess, from the
it should be
beginning.
moved up just a little bit so that you're pulling up. It's created a hazard.
So you're gonna,
Yeah, Dana's letters there are too small in the road, and those will be changed. I'm not sure we'll get them.
Is there any vegetation in there that prevents?
Yeah, big pine trees.
All right.
Go on.
we're not gonna,
I'll,
Ain't gonna cure it tonight, but it's been complaints that I've had.
so it's been, you're gonna raise it with, well, Doug heard it here anyway, so. Anything else on, the winter sand purchase?
Can I offer, if you want, I'll take a stab at some specific language on exclusions, exemptions, or whatever on this and see whether or not you want to go there.
Yep.
Per my item 4 on my memo.
Yep. That would be good. Okay, old business. FEMA flood maps.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there, over here, Glenn marked a few things, obvious geographic features that you folks would recognize, and you can stop in anytime and look through them, and you can see that the flood elevation hasn't changed. The red line is the new demarcation, the blue line is the old, and there'll be a lot of more happy people than sad people.
So I guess my question is there any reason that we wouldn't approve what has been submitted to us?
I haven't seen any, I haven't gone through each one, but every time I look on there, 9 times out of 10 you find that there's fewer people in the flood zone than.
So I guess I would ask the board, is there any reason that we wouldn't
I
go
don't-
through the exercise and
I've
approve it?
looked at some of it, I don't think so, because I think it's gonna help 95% of the taxpayers here in town.
So does someone wanna
I will
accept them
move
as
that
presented
we
by FEMA?
accept is it the appropriate language to say that we accept the floodplain markation
As presented by FEMA,
as
right?
presented by FEMA? Yep.
I'll second that, but a comment is that the landowner, at this point, it's up to them to prove that if they feel that they are in floodplain, it's up to them to prove it.
Well, that's the understanding, it's still up to the,
It's still up to the landowner, and it really ain't up to the board to decide whether that piece of ground is
right.
in the floodplain.
Yeah, we're not gonna make individual decisions,
No.
it's just a matter of accepting what
Yeah.
they presented to us. Bridget, you have a question?
I don't understand what the issue is. Is it about insurance?
Yeah, FEMA has redesignated the floodplain, if you will. It's been an exercise that's been going on for a number of years. They have better data today so that they've better defined where the actual floodplain line is. So they have a revision to all of the maps in the town. And in most cases, I think there's a benefit to landowners from what we can see.
So they don't have to buy flood insurance?
Right, but it's still.
Some of them may not have to.
It still goes back to the fact that it's the landowner's responsibility to ensure that they do or don't need flood insurance.
Okay.
It-
If you're coming in to build something, that's a question that's gonna be asked by Glenn, but,
There was quite a bunch of land in Lake Arrowhead that was in floodplain that has been now taken out, and also in around Ospey Lake and some of
yes.
these other small bodies of water, and they've narrowed it down considerably.
Okay, and if you have a couple minutes after, I'll show you on the maps a few things that'll make good sense.
Okay, I saw the maps the last time when Glenn presented them, but I didn't know what the.
yeah, we had them up on the
Kept
screen.
saying
and-
advantage to homeowners, I didn't.
You
get
can see
what that
these
was.
better than what we had those.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion, comments?
From the previous discussion, it was my understanding that whether we accepted them or not, the federal government was gonna do it anyway. So,
You can hire high-paid folks to interpret the methodology and question them. And people along the coast have done that where they have tidal lands. I don't think that it's relevant here. The tides on Lake Arrowhead are minimal, so.
yeah, there hasn't been a tsunami there for as long as I can remember.
However, if you want FEMA funds and you don't locate them after,
I would guess
that
that's,
may hold them back.
that would be the
That's the
thing that
caveat,
they
I
would,
guess,
they
yeah.
would hold us hostage for that, so. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Discuss vote town hall roof bids.
I would
think
like to make a motion to deny all of the bids on the roof and try this again in the spring, because I don't believe at this time we have the accurate money to do this job.
So you move to reject all
Reject
bids?
all bids.
I'll second
Wait a
that.
second.
Because I have issues with some of the
Okay.
bidders.
So, want to open up for discussion? You think we'd be better off later and,
Well, most of them are saying hopefully they could get it done, but they're not sure. And once you open that roof up and we get an ice storm, or we're gonna have some wet roof and have some problems here, and it's now pretty near the 15th of November, and most of them can't even start before the 1st of December, and we know that we're gonna have wet days.
Well, the one that, both low bidders said they could start this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I
already a
still
third
have
into this one.
questions on whether the roof trusses are designed for an extra roof on top of that. And I would really like to see that.
Yeah, I thought
And
in one of our
answer.
previous discussions, you're right, that we were gonna have a structural engineer take a look at it.
And I've been tailing two of them and have not been able to get to here yet.
Gordon, did you have some other comments, or?
No, I would have had reservations about some of the people that actually submitted a bid, that I would be happy to discuss with the board in an executive session.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I'd like Gary's opinion.
My opinion. I am leery about putting workers on a roof during cold temperatures. We can get through another winter here and deal with ice buildup if we have to. We've been doing it for longer than I've been here. Both of these outfits, the two lower bidders, or any of them, that wouldn't mind. They work right through until Mother Nature stops them. They would stay here right through into December and get this done. Is it ideal? No. If you've got wet wood up there, that's not good. In the specs we did, we said the roof will be kept dry and covered at all times. And it's getting cold, and if this is your desire to get through another winter, we can do that. I'd rather have the roof, but you can blame this delay on me. I didn't get started early enough in the summer to get this done sooner. It's my fault.
Okay. Any other discussion?
My only comment is I think we can get a lot of this homework done and have a lot of answers answered by spring and know really the direction that we really need to go in.
Well, you also have more bidders. When I called the big guys, they said, I'll talk to you in the spring.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, when you start this late,
I talked to two real local decent builders, and they both said that they didn't have time this fall to even, and that's why they didn't bid on it.
but on the other hand, if you wish to do it, we can do it in the next
Okay.
6 weeks, I guess.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded to reject all bids. Unless there's any other discussion, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay? Other issues, discuss and vote to approve the minutes of the October 27th regular meeting.
So moved.
Been moved. Can I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Discuss and vote to approve the minutes of the November 5th special meeting, which was
So
just an
moved.
executive meeting that we went in and out of executive session on. Been moved,
So moved.
been moved, seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0, 4-0,
401, right?
401, yeah. Sorry about that. Week's action list. We have a meeting on the comprehensive plan, just like kind of jumped over the pending decisions. That is the 17th.
You set another one there, did you?
I thought we set one.
Okay.
Maybe we did. Comprehensive plan action meeting.
Honestly, I'll get the permit, you don't want that one.
Don't know that we did, certainly can.
Well, that's the week of, no, we meet the week of the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, week from tonight.
Yeah, I just think I'll sign it.
What's your pleasure, folks? You wanna have a meeting on the, or is it, actually, we could probably do it on the 1st. That would give us a couple of weeks to see if we can get some people in here, because I
December
think